everybody, it is Calxiyn here, and if you guys enjoyed this video, you should subscribe for more RWBY videos, and this video was brought to you by my patrons over on Patreon, so thanks to them very much, and if you guys want to see our RWBY reactions early and all our other RWBY videos early, you should totally check out the Patreon. You'll get the reaction as soon as, it drops on Saturday and stuff like that, so yeah, and you'll get that for episode 1 if you do it now, but if you're seeing this video later, you can do it for all the remaining episodes of RWBY, so yeah, hope that you guys go do that, see our reaction to this episode. And this episode kind of spurred something for me, and it's not even the episode, but it's more the intro. And people were sort of saying, and I saw this in my Discord server, that people were saying that, oh, Cinder walks through this area of frozen time, and yes, frozen time has usually been representative of Jin, right? When you think about it, Jin freezes time and everything around her, and so what would happen if the relic was activated around a bunch of people fighting? They would probably freeze similarly to that, and Neo, Emerald, and Cinder are the only ones, moving around and free to move, and so some people think, right, people have thought for a long time Emerald's gonna ask it just because she's based on Aladdin, but I don't know what Emerald would feel so passionate about that she would ask something to Jin, if that makes sense. And the other thing is how they would find out about Jin. That's a little up in the air, right? There are fairy tales in RWBY, and so, one of the theories that we've sort of had is, maybe there is a fairy tale about Jin, and that's how somebody outside of Ozpin could know her name, because you would think that Ozpin would be the only one to know, and if you can't get it out of him, you can't use it, but at the same time, we know that it's possible that some of the relics have been shown in fairy tales before, and for example, right, you have the one of the crown, the king, and the widow, and the relic of choice is in that fairy tale, right, and so maybe there could be, some fairy tale of a Jin inside of a lamp and stuff like that, and I don't know why Ozpin would let that information, enter the universe or something, but maybe it is possible that Emerald
I think that was probably
a
drunk
vacuo fairy tale,
slip.
And so it's possible maybe that's another way, Emerald knows the fairy tale of the Jin inside the lamp and it's worth a shot, why not? That'd be a little Deus Ex Machina, but they've already sort of,
We've also
talked about the fairy tale
discussed this
stuff
previously before. That either Emerald or Neo have the ability to make illusions.
Yeah.
So we have the suspicion that Emerald will use that power on Salem to steal the Relic of Knowledge, or that Neo had already done that, and what they're actually holding is not the Relic of Knowledge, but her
So I think
umbrella.
that is a great theory. So basically, we said this in another video, but like Hunter has just explained, we were thinking that Neo could have, similar to how she illusions over the airship, she could have illusioned over her umbrella, handed that to Salem, and then, or something else, even another object, right? Handed that object to Salem, and Salem won't know it until it doesn't work. Because we had this theory in the Hazel, Emerald, and Mercury video that you guys either have seen or will see, depending on when this releases. But if you watch that video, we sort of talked about, Hazel basically beating it out of Oscar in the name of Jin, and Oscar being okay, it's Jin. And then, Salem tries to call upon Jin, and it doesn't fucking work. And he's are you lying to me, Oscar? And he's like, no, I swear that's what it's supposed to be. I don't know why it's not working. And then it just
turns
poof, right?
umbrella.
Just turns into umbrella, or turns into, whatever else. Maybe Neo's hat, something like that. Another object, so she doesn't need to lose her weapon. But either way, I think that idea is really cool. And I think that would be such a good idea for Neo to do, because she's already mad that she's not getting credit for stealing the relic. And so what if she just does a little switcheroo later? And her and Emerald have such a powerful semblance combination. I think they could trick Salem.
Yeah.
Right? Or at least trick her long enough to run away, right? It could be possible in order to get into Cinder's good graces, because Cinder has not been, very nice to Emerald so far.
Not the favorite
not
child
very
anymore.
welcoming, right? Maybe Emerald will steal the relic for Cinder and says, here, Cinder, now you can do whatever you want with it, right?
Of course, we'll only
something
piss Cinder
like that,
off
right?
more,
And Cinder will be like, why would you steal the relic from Salem? We don't need the relic, right? Unless, and so I do have a theory for a question that Cinder would ask, because I feel like Emerald would waste it on, why doesn't Cinder love me? And then we see Cinder's backstory.
Yeah.
Imagine, Cinder's just in case. Jin just shows us all of Cinder's backstory. This is why she can't love you, sweetie, but no.
That would be a really cool way of getting her backstory.
I feel like they're just gonna show it, in relation to her PTSD, I guess, how she was scratching the chair is her thinking about. I'm sure they'll do it that way, but it would be kind of funny if Emerald asked that, and then it's okay, guys, here's the backstory. that Cinder could ask the question, because here's my thing. What if Cinder would ask Jin how to steal Salem's powers and immortality, and if that's possible, right? To leech the power out of her through an aura transfer or a grim arm transfer, something like that, because it would be kind of funny. The only way to get rid of Salem would be to transfer her curse. And not only that, it would be equally funny if, you know, the villain finds out the way to kill Salem, right? And then maybe Cinder would, like, ration that information or, like, bargaining chip that information later on.
Like, you can't kill me because I have information you need.
Yeah, like, Ironwood, don't you want to know how to kill Salem? Like, stuff
I don't imagine
right?
it's Ironwood. I imagine she tries to escape Atlas with Team RWBY or remnants of Team RWBY or something like that, and she becomes, like, prisoner.
Zuko?
Yeah, like a Zuko.
I don't know if I want RWBY to do a Zuko on Cinder when Zuko already exists in all of his Zuko glory. But
I mean, come to think of it, they do look quite similar.
I know, but like everyone's made that comparison forever. Oh, like Cinder's like Zuko. But now that I've watched Avatar,
this is the first time I think I've ever made that.
Now that I've watched Avatar, I can say with certainty that there is like Zuko is here and Cinder is here. Like there is just out of the frame. There's just no comparison, right? But yeah, like that could be possible that Cinder finds out this information and then uses it as a bargaining chip later on, either because she really wants to steal Salem's power, or hey, like you can't, you know, whatever, you can't touch me because I know this, and if you want to defeat Salem, like you're gonna have to, you know, keep me alive, like talking to Team RWBY or whatever, right? Yeah. And so I feel like it would be interesting because this sort of parallels like how Cinder feels about Salem is how Salem felt about the gods, right? You know, she tried to convince people, you can steal immortality, you can do this, we'll claim the power of the gods for ourselves. And even though she lied about the immortality, the stealing immortality part, I think that she was telling the truth about wanting to kill the gods and steal their power, right? And so it would sort of be interesting if that parallel is sort of with Cinder, that now Cinder is festering inside so much like Salem did, that she would like to steal Salem's power, and that is what she asked the relic. And so we find out that there's no way to kill Salem, but is there a way to sort of get it out of her, I guess, or get parts of Salem? Because, like, Salem must have an aura, right? You know what I mean? Like, Salem must still have a soul, and so if you could rip that soul from her body, is the immortality curse on her aura, or is it on her body? Because it's her body that is constantly regenerating.
She's like an ancient human that has
magic.
Yeah,
and that's interesting, too. We don't know.
Soul or an aura,
but it would be interesting because everyone's like, guys, like Salem will be defeated because she'll learn the consequence of death. I don't think that we're doing the power of friendship thing, guys. I really do not. It's okay, Hunter. I don't think any less of you, but I really don't think that they're gonna power of friendship out of Salem. Like I feel like that the show has become too serious. I feel the show has become too serious for things to just stop because Salem learned the meaning of death or something. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that it must be some, like, third reasoning on how to kill her. Unless they make her find out the meaning of death in, like, a fucked up way. You know what I mean? A fucked up, dark way. But I don't know. But yeah, it would be funny if Cinder was almost the accidental hero because she finds the way to stop Salem, but of course, she's not going to use that for the good of the world. She's going to use it to further her own ambition. And I think that idea of her trying to use that to save herself or stop Team RWBY, you know, from killing her in the future or something like that, like use it as some sort of bargaining chip would be interesting.
I have one last suggestion.
Sure.
That it's not the relic of knowledge, but it's the relic of power she uses that stops time. And so, because we see it happen. See it happen in the opening when they're all fighting. So what if, similar to that, she's like, let's kill everybody and then Salem will love me, or alternatively, she uses it to fight Salem. I don't think the fight Salem part is very likely, but I think it's possible that she's like, give me all the powers that I want, and she almost becomes like super strength, and everybody has to fight. And then the way
to defeat Cinder would be getting the relic back and making something else, because that is how you could negate her power, because people would be like, Cinder's too OP, but the one way to stop her would be to get the relic back and then create something else, because you can only create one thing at a time. And so if you create a Cinder super weapon or something like that, if you make something else, it would go away.
I imagine it might have something to do with her grim arm, like it'll expand, it'll grow to her, but she'll become some kind of like Cardovan-esque grim monster, horrible creature.
I didn't even think about them using the relic of like
power,
creation.
or,
I didn't even think that they would do that. Oh,
so
dear.
I'm thinking that might be the option available.
Yeah,
and then you could have this really
sense.
cool scene where like everyone from Team Funky to Team Juniper to like maybe
they're
even
all
Raven and Tyann
playing capture the flag.
Yeah, trying
basically.
to get to
they're trying to get to the relic so they can then create. Even if they create a fucking banana, it's gonna stop like Cinder's like ultimate power and stuff like that, right? And so I think that's a really interesting idea. In terms of some other theories, like a lot of people think that Neo wants to ask how to bring Roman back, if it's possible, and that some people think that the Relic of Creation may bring them back with a cost, with some sort of monkey's paw-esque human sacrifice exchange, Full Metal Alchemist, whatever.
He comes back and he's not normal anymore.
Yeah, he's just not normal, like stuff like that. And so I definitely think that the relic is going to be used by Cinder, Neo, and Emerald. Like, I think that the intro shows that. It's just a matter of which one and what they're going to do with it, right? Because I think that that's too, like, people are like, oh, it's an artistic choice. Like, the time freezing, like, the time freezing specifically just seems too on point.
Yeah.
And the relics are also shown, like, kind of, like, shortly, either before or after. I don't remember.
I mean, but it kind of reminds me back in Volume 4 when you see Adam fight Blake in the desert.
Yeah,
and everyone was convinced we were going to have a Blake versus Adam fight that we wouldn't have for another 2 volumes.
I know, but
so you can't always take it. I always thought, watching it, it kind of struck me as, like, shocking or upsetting the flow of it.
Yeah.
Normally we just expected to see a routine where they all fight, but then it stopped by Cinder.
And I
maybe
get that, Hunter,
is an allusion to it. Maybe it's not.
I think the relic thing, I think it's a super cool idea. Yes. I just really like it. And I love the idea of Neo tricking everyone and just running with it, running away with it. And like, I don't know, I don't know who will ask it, because obviously Cinder's the one walking, so you would think that it's her, right? That she's the one who does it because she's prominent in that scene, but it could be Neo or Emerald. They could activate it too, and, I don't know. It's gonna be fun.
It could make for a really cool fight scene, especially if Raven shows up. Then you have 2 maidens versus a superpowered maiden.
2 maidens, unlimited power. Because, like, that's the other thing that happens in Aladdin. Like, Jafar wishes to be an all-powerful genie, right? And so that could also be an interesting angle to all of this. And then, Cinder's... But would Cinder die after this? Would Cinder die? Do you think Cinder's gonna die this volume, Hunter?
I don't want Cinder to die.
Because all they have to do is get the relic, right? Like, I already said that. They don't need to kill her, and they probably wouldn't be able to.
Because then it's
would this happen? Like, I feel like that if every single person fought her, the stakes would be too high for them to lose. So I feel like it needs to be something else. Either using the Relic of Creation to create something to steal Salem's powers, or asking the Relic of Knowledge how to do it, or both. Like, some idea like that, where they ask the question, and then they're like, hello, Relic of Creation, can you do this? And it's like, okay. Whatever this is, though, is, like, up for debate, I guess. But yeah. I don't know.
No, that could be really. I mean, I kind of want to see. I think it'd be like a keep up fight with potentially Raven jumping around the place using her portals. I think that could be really cool. I think you're right about the stakes. However, the stakes could be leveled if, like, maybe that's how Penny dies.
Like, just during this fight.
But
I mean, in terms of Cinder, like, how many times will Cinder cheat death? Is what I basically mean.
It's been a couple at this point, or maybe it's a change, like we said previously, that she'll have the knowledge and just keep it there, and she'll be prisoner Cinder. Maybe it'll be like Adam, and she's just gone from here end. I don't know.
But yeah, so this was fun. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I really, really wanted to talk about it as soon as we saw, that scene in the intro. But again, sometimes it's just too early to tell, but we want to make a video about it anyway. But as these things develop, we may, like, try again and, like, narrow down what Cinder could be doing and stuff like that. So,
theory carpet bombing.
So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.